Okay, so I am recording this at 2:36 in the morning. My desk is filled with trash and water bottles. Yeah, this is for science class, last project of the year, so here we go. Inbreeding. Genetic mutations. These are both things that are usually seen in the process of selective breeding. Also known as artificial selection, selective breeding is breeding something of a certain species until you get what you want out of said species. So, for example, corn. You see this image? In this image, there are three types of what look like corn, but what actually they are, the one on the left is called Teosinte, which is an ancestor of today's corn. You realize that it is very small, and it basically pulled a doctors hate this man and turned into today's corn. This is because over thousands of years, humans selectively breeded their Teosinte into what they want, which is today's corn. Me, growing up in Indiana and living in Indiana, I know all about corn, so I could tell you about this for hours, but I'm just going to move on to another form of, another example of things that are selectively bred. Pugs. Now, this might be pretty obvious considering pugs are basically just the. Okay, I'm gonna get, slaughtered if I say what I was gonna say, so I'm just gonna not make that joke. Now, the image that should be on your screen right now, should give you a good idea of how the selective breeding process has changed the appearance and lifestyle of the pug. Now, obviously, the artificial selection or, selective breeding process is way different from natural selection, which usually involves a species evolving to better adapt and survive and thrive and reproduce in their environment. And obviously, that's very different to the artificial selective breeding process because in selective breeding, you are getting what you want, not necessarily what is best for the species, which actually sparks the debate on if selective breeding, like animals, is actually ethical or not. I'm gonna go back to the pug here because I have a pug, and obviously, since pugs have such small faces and nose, they have breathing problems, and they are basically bred to be obese, short, and their eyes are all bulging out of their skull and stuff, and they can't breathe. And my pug actually has arthritis because his legs are so short and he is so prone to obesity, and his quality of life is basically garbage. We try to give him the best life that he can have, but he's basically genetically predisposed to a lower quality of life because he has been selectively bred over hundreds of years in order to get the way he is now for the trying to think of a word for it, the likeness of humans, basically. And sometimes selective breeding is good, the corn, the Teosinte was garbage, and then it took some pills over thousands of years and became today's corn. And an example of this is the watermelon, which I'm not gonna put it on screen because I'm recording this at 3 in the morning and I have not slept, and I'm gonna do very minimal editing because I need to get this done as soon as possible, but you get the picture. You can Google it. All in all, selective breeding is a process that has its ups and downs and has been useful yet unuseful. I do agree that natural selection is better for a species of animals, but for the stuff we eat, it is better to artificially select and selectively breed the fruit and the vegetables and what we eat. I'm sorry if I sound like I'm rambling. Like I said, 3 in the morning is not my most verbal hour, but you get the picture. If you're watching this, which you probably are, hi, science class. Mr. Hensley, you suck. I'll see you later.